Alright, so this is week 7 of the Iron Reach StarCraft League, casted sometime around the 12th week. And this is the Mistings League, match 1 between BorangeHat, the orange Protoss on the top right, and Kippos, the purple Zerg on the bottom right. Alright, it was the top left. Directions are hard. So, there does not seem to be in-game music. But I guess that's just what it's going to be. Both of these players are going for somewhat standard builds. Kippos went for a very early expand, but it can't be blocked, so that's fine. Overlord on the way with a slight supply block, but yeah, spawning pool and just in time to get out of the supply block. BorangeHat, Gateway Gas, and will he go for an expand or immediate cybernetic score? Yep. Now both of these players are pretty good. We all suck at StarCraft compared to Sero, but relatively speaking. So this should be pretty interesting. BorangeHat was dominating the Mistings earlier. As for the map, they're playing on Romanticide. Pretty nice purpley map. So got some nice features in these mineral walls and these wooden bridges. Chronoing out Warp Gate, not getting tier 3 tech yet, and getting an Adept. Kippos has a few lings, but is getting Queens, Overlord. Doesn't seem to have an Overlord scouting out. And an Adept is crossing the map. Going to see what they can get. Robo and 2 gateways, okay, so BorangeHat will probably go for something robotic on the ground. Not a bad idea considering Kippos generally likes a more roach-centered style, and a roach warren is going down. Sorry, I only opened Twitch chat now in case something clever happened. Yeah, Adept came in, got murdered. And the only thing Kippos has lost is a Zergling. Not a very promising start, but not a terrible one either. Got a sentry out. But sentry at the front of the base isn't always a great idea. More Adepts coming out, an Immortal on its way out. And yeah, nothing very special to report yet. Forge is up, no upgrades with it. Even though the lair is up, there also doesn't seem to be any roach speed going on, or roach production in general. Yeah, there's no pylon on the bottom ground, so BorangeHat is making Adepts near these warp gates and walking them down. Zealot. No charge, but BorangeHat notices, puts down the Twilight Council. And yeah, pylon goes down. And yeah, and armor. Kippos is getting all these upgrades, getting roach speed, getting a Hydra den, getting another queen, and roaches are on their way. Just in time, actually, because these adepts are moving across the map. They'll be very good against workers and zerglings, and not very good against 8 roaches. Third hatchery also down. Let's see, these 2 immortals, however, are going to be incredible against the roaches. Overlord does see them. Also the creep sees them. And yeah, Sentry puts a guardian shield, but oof, these roaches are just melt to the immortal there. Queen gets transfused, but there is so much damage output coming out from these 2 immortals. Things are going to slow those immortals down. And the immortals are going to try to focus down a queen and just run away with... yeah. So that attack wiped out Kippos' roach army. And was actually a fairly decent trade. There is both players mining equally. A little bit more gas for the Zerg. But now that Kippos has Hydralisks and 2 Evo chambers, that could actually be helpful. Yeah, Kippos' third base starting to be helpful with the mineral income. And yeah, BorangeHat has charge, finally. Charge lots and immortals are a very good combination. And this probe is going to build a 4th base. Now Borange isn't floating money, which is very good. Kippos is floating like 1,000, which could be turned into a lot of Hydralisks. Over 2,000 resources. Spreading the creep, always a good way to get vision and a bit of map presence. Both players do seem to just be making sure they have their armies. Two fully saturated bases for Borange, and 3 partially saturated bases for Kippos. With the main, sometimes it's good to leave it a little bit less saturated because 35, 110, these minerals will run out very soon. But that natural really could use some more attention. 4th going down though. Archon down. Immortals, Zealot. Yeah, so roaches and zerglings are coming down, going to eat the Zealot. But the Zealot did do its job. It found its target. It found where Kippos has expanded to. Orange's army is here, and it's separated. Oof, that's painful. Head back. You do not want to fight on this creep, but Kippos doesn't chase. Kippos defended her base. She's established presence, and BorangeHat is going to go back home and resupply. Archon's going down. More warp gates, that is 8, 9, that's 9 warp gates, that's very good. And the 4th base gonna go down. BorangeHat is ahead on workers. What the hell is going on? I really hope that doesn't appear on the stream. And yeah, this ball is heading out, but there are no zealots in it. Zealots are behind, but that's only 6, which is going to be a problem against all this Hydra Roach. Yeah, Hydra, they do see the army. And yeah, Zealots melt, but the Archons do reach the Hydralisk line, which is where they get really good. Kippos does run into the Immortals, kills 1, and the Zealot. Right, Kippos is ahead in army supplies now, even in workers, which is a little bit bad for Zerg, but it's fine. Also, just has a ton of bank. Uses up all of her larva, hasn't maxed out yet, but then again, that's still huge army advantage. Has an overseer to make sure no funny business happens. And yeah, not great saturation on Borange's stuff, but a Colossus out, another Colossus on the way. Slight upgrade advantage for Kippos. And that probe is going to scout out the army, as are these. Zealots going out, running to their death, but do protect the Archons for a bit. Colossus, oof, that's a short-range Colossus. And this army is almost entirely spread up. And shield battery runs out of energy, but no, they will survive. Kippos, in true macro fashion, already has another army on the way. BorangeHat did manage to only lose a few probes and, zealots, immortals too. Okay. BorangeHat did lose some important stuff. What's Kippos going for next? There is a +3/+3 is on the way. Has a macro hatch, but seems to be sticking with Roach Hydra. This could be a problem because now that they're balanced economy-wise, and the Protoss Death Ball with Colossi that do splash, with Archons that do splash, is going to trade a little bit better. Especially with the Zealot front line. Yep, there are. But each player's on 5 bases. They should both be expanding a little bit more, I think, maybe. Kippos also should probably get workers back after spending them on buildings. Archons on the way, Zealots slow warping. Base defenses coming up. Nice little cannon battery. And Kippos' army heading out. Does see BorangeHat's army heading out. And they're going to fight each other. Let's see where, though. Looks like BorangeHat is going to snipe Kippos' fourth. Okay, Hydras sneak up behind and get very little done. And yeah, BorangeHat is ahead in supply. And Kippos' army is running away. Eats a juicy storm. But otherwise, handles it fairly well. Does stutter step ahead into the splash damage. But yeah, the upgrade lead is very good. And good for them. That works. This is some terrible saturation. This is even worse saturation. Both players should want to expand, but Kippos has an advantage because she's managed to cover bases and creep. Yeah. BorangeHat is going to want to expand and won't be able to. And Mutalisks. That's a change, especially without air upgrades. You know, normally you'd go for Broodlords or something. Especially when your opponent has... Alright. I didn't see that coming. That is a very large quantity of Mutalisks. That is 35 Mutalisks. Which should be technically very bad against that Archon Ball, except they can do this sort of damage to the production without the Archon Ball being able to do anything. Because Archons are very fat. Sorry. And yeah, the GG comes down. Alright, so that was Kippos winning game 1. Let's see, is there a way to just run these replays offline? Because these are on an older... Nope, I have to do this every time. All good. So I'll shut the screen. Alright, match 2. Ooh, I like this map. Alright, so the next map is King's Cove. And on the bottom right, the orange Protoss BorangeHat. On the top left, the purple Zerg Kippos. Oops. That should fix it. Yeah, and they're old standings too. Thank you, Nuke Noodles. I pressed the wrong button when I was trying to obscure my screen. So King's Cove is a map that really upset Vibe when he casted something on it. And is otherwise just this really nice beach vacation that people die at. So, you know, a beach vacation. It's got dead dinosaurs. It's got all these little plants. I think it's a Xeris map? I'm not sure. No. Looks a little. No, these look like Xeris plants, but I don't know. Anyway, so both of them are going for similar builds to last time. Hatch, pool, gas, and gateway and cybernetics core before expansion. Kippos plays honorably. She doesn't believe in spying on your enemy. She's just watching her own base. BorangeHat's going for a sentry first. That's what you do when you're convinced your opponent won't attack you very early. And warp gate. Four Zerglings out. They should prevent any aggression from the sentry. And again, Robo first. Alright. All of this is very standard. I am not filling up time very well. But that is a second Robo Bay. That is very, very aggressive. That requires pretty decent amount of mining, actually. So we'll see how that goes. First Robo Bay done. And an Immortal getting chronoed out. Alright. BorangeHat will not be losing to Roaches. The Kippos will be getting speed Roaches out as quickly as possible. And protection against Dark Templar. Yeah, it's on the wrong side to protect against anything flying. So yeah, getting the creep spread. Prioritizing creep over injects. Yeah, 2 Immortals being produced at once, but no probes. Kippos, on the other hand, is going for is putting drones over Roaches. So this could be a sign of really, really strong early aggression. I think, yeah. I was about to say, 3 Adepts, a Sentry, and 2 Immortals is actually a pretty scary army. The 3rd Immortal could join them and be a little bit late. All Kippos seems to have are 3 Queens here. 4 Lings, 1 Roach, a Queen in the main. Yeah, no Roaches on the way. Adepts are pretty decent against Lings, and Immortals are amazing against Roaches. Yeah, so that's a 4th Adept and a 3rd Immortal. And 4 more Gateways. But getting probes now. And a Twilight Council, so this isn't an all-in. And the Roach melts. And yeah, so they're just going to sit in the mineral line, I guess. And the Sentry is taking no damage from the Queens. That's pretty funny. Sentry at 2 health and dies, but it did a very good job. These 3 Immortals are just not to be messed with. Taking some damage from the hatchery. But they're gonna head up. They're gonna get a Spire, which... yeah... I mean, Kippos can afford it, technically. But she's losing so much, and by the time the Mutalisks are out, I mean... yeah, the drones are pulled, but... they die, and the GG goes out. One day, we will figure out how to make an RTS play old replays. That will be a glorious day. Chat, does this blacken out my screen now? Is the screen blacked out? It should be, but I'm not sure if it did so. Okay, I'm going to assume it was. Please don't steal my Blizzard information. So it looks like our next map will be Death Aura LE. And on the bottom right on Death Aura LE, we see the purple Protoss. Purple Zerg, sorry, Kippos. On the top left we have the orange Protoss. BorangeHat. They will again be going for the same builds, I guess, probably. Now, one thing I like about this map, which doesn't actually bother Kippos very much considering how she's been very honorable about her Overlord placement, is that there is no pillar for Overlords to watch the natural from. They can see the exit, They can keep track of units leaving that way, but they don't always know what's going on in the expansion. Ooh, I missed that. A dickhead drone has taken over one of the geysers. Alright, so while I was saying that Kippos is honorable, she's proven me wrong. And is going for a proxy hatchery. Alright. There is no such thing as honor. And BorangeHat sees the proxy hatchery. Is pulling probes. I don't know if that is enough. Nope, that is not enough. That will not be enough to kill the hatchery before it finishes. But we'll keep us want it to finish. Alright, a zealot's gonna join them, and that is going to be enough, I guess. Kippos is building a spawning pool and an extractor. Alright, that was purely a dickhead move. Very good, Kippos. However, Kippos now starts queens, drones. Yeah, and BorangeHat is supply blocked. Has to wait for pylons to finish. And does seem to be sending his zealot to the other side of the map. Kippos, again, remarkable. Hidden base on the rich gas geysers. So Kippos has decided she is a very standard player and she needs to compensate for that. So Zealot did cross the lovely little speed zigzag here. Does see that Kippos doesn't have a third and is going to check the other third. I get very nervous about the all-in that's definitely on the way, and Kippos got 2 spine crawlers. Alright. That is a choice. Yes, Kippos is making more hatcheries than units, except that is 8 Zerglings that are just picking at the Zealot one attack at a time. I wonder if the Zealot is going to survive. Kippos remembers how to micro Zerglings, gets us around, and kills the Zealot. Borange is going Robo first again, but no Immortal up. And is getting drones, rallying them to the geysers. And Aspire. Okay. So Kippos is going to be going for a very intense Mutalisk build. Considering the only thing Orange has that attacks up is the Sentry, which doesn't attack up as much as it sort of just stares up. That is a very, very, very good choice. There is a Forge, so if BorangeHat realizes what's going on, he can drop cannons. That'll help very much. And cannon and a battery and a mineral line do help a lot against Mutalisk play. And the spire is done. Are we going to see Mutalisks come out now? Yep, that is 3 Mutalisks on the way. And the supply cap. Always happens. Supply block. Sorry. Oh no. These adepts are going to realize what's going on. These adepts and this immortal. Don't miss a beat. Start to attack this base. Zerglings are going to come out to defend it, but this is not an amount of Zerglings that can beat this amount of adepts. And they don't even get one. They might get this Zealot. "13 Mutalisks on the way." No? Making 12 Mutalisks ready, 4 on the way. BorangeHat does understand something is fucky and is going to make Dark Templars, which will be very good against this utter lack of detection. And this force gets recalled. So the Mutalisks are going to head out. They're going to pass the Dark Templar and not be aware of it. This is one of those games. Dark Templar should beat Mutalisks in a base trade, assuming there aren't, 16 of them. Cannon battery is on the way and is ready. And Stalkers are out. So, actually, yeah, this Mutalisk attack is going to do some damage, but it is not going to do very well. Gonna try to depower these. Isn't going to do terribly. Right, Mutalisk math is weird. Mutalisks get much stronger when you have a lot, and yeah, so they shred these Stalkers. They are going back to fighting the cannons. Okay. These Mutalisks, these Overseers do see the Dark Templar and kill them. And the Mutalisks kill the Immortals. So this is a huge dent in BorangeHat's production. So BorangeHat managed to kill Kippos' main gas base. However, Kippos is at a slight worker disadvantage, but is at an income advantage. Does have a decent amount of things to fly. And BorangeHat isn't building any counter to the Mutalisks, other than cannons all over. Yeah, Kippos just denied a base. And is on 4. Going to be on 4. On 2, but 2 more are on the way. Yeah, BorangeHat moving his army out. Kippos moving her army in. Going to snipe the Dark Shrine. Depower. Oh, wow. I think that's it for BorangeHat. And So that was a 2-1.